Joining me now, the one and only Matthew Boyle, Breitbart News, senior writer, senior interviewer, senior everything, senior editor, does it all, and is with us now. Matthew, thanks for joining us today on short notice.
Yeah, you bet. Thanks for having me.
I want to get your unabashed, unadulterated, clear perspective on sending Homan to Minnesota and what appears to be, on the surface, a negotiated surrender to the mobs. What is your perspective on that, Matthew Boyle?
I just don't think so. First off, Donald Trump doesn't back down, especially on immigration. Secondly, have you met my friend Tom? Right?
Yes.
It's like Tom Homan is as hardcore, maybe even harder core than Kristi Noem in Bovino, and when it comes to immigration enforcement, right? Like, I mean, this is the guy who has led the way in breaking the radical left in sanctuary cities for the last decade plus in this nation. There's a reason why he's President Trump's border czar, right? He was one of the first, if not, I think he might have been the very first appointment that the president announced after the election. One of the very first, right? Like, Tom Homan is as hardcore as it gets. So if the Democrats are frustrated dealing with Kristi Noem, well, again, have you met our friend Tom, right? Like, he's coming in to go deal with them. So if this forces Tim Walz and Jacob Fry and all these other crazies in Minnesota government to actually cooperate with ICE and allow the ICE agents into the prisons and to go and remove the criminal illegal aliens that they are harboring right now, then fine. I don't care how they did it, right? Like, it doesn't matter to me as long as, guess what? The only thing that matters is criminal illegal aliens removed from America. And President Trump campaigned on that, and he's doing it across the board. He's using the various players on his team to great effect to be able to accomplish that. Anyone that's suggesting that, like, Kristi Noem is in trouble right now or something like that, or that there's tumult in the administration, all signs are to the contrary. The president uses the people on his team effectively. And so at this moment, it makes more sense to send in Tom Homan because guess what? The Democrats there in Minnesota, who have been reluctant to cooperate and resisting in every respect, are willing to work with them. So they say, right? Like, so, okay, fine, right? Like, if that leads to us getting the criminal ICE agent, criminal illegal aliens out and get in cooperation with the ICE agents, we'll take it in a heartbeat, right? Like, that's the only thing that President Trump cares about. He cares about getting the criminal illegal aliens out and making sure Americans are safe, right? Like, so if that's how it has to happen, then that's how it has to happen. Now, in addition to that, what we've seen uncovered in the last week or so here, I saw these signal messages. I think it was Cam Higbee out there. Was on the ground in Minnesota and infiltrated these leftist groups of thousands of people across the radical left that apparently possibly even include government officials. I don't fully understand this, where they are doing patrols and dispatches and whatever to disrupt federal law enforcement activity. Apparently, also, we've learned in the last day or so that the FBI has opened formal investigations into these networks of people that are using the signal chats to do this. And frankly, that's a good step as well. So again, if all of this clears the way to the removal of the criminal illegal aliens from Minnesota, then phenomenal. We're going to get them out, and then we're going to move on to California. Right? Like, it's like that's the big picture here, is that President Trump is campaigned on getting these criminals out of the country, and that's what he's doing by any means necessary.
So in the press briefing yesterday with Caroline Levitt, she outlined 3 conditions for cooperation and for a de-escalation of ICE. Number one, as you mentioned, Matthew Boyle with us, number one was very simple. It's give us the criminals you have in jail right now that are illegal aliens that have committed crimes, and we're going to get them out of the country. Number two, give us a list of everybody that has an outstanding warrant that's been arrested who was an illegal in Minnesota. Anybody you have, give us that, and then let us go do our job and take care of them, which means arrest them and get them out of the country. That's number two. That's not been agreed to. Number three is we want your local law enforcement, the Minneapolis police, to work with us like they do in our city, Washington, D.C. Great city, by the way, completely safe. See none of that here because Muriel Bowser has the Capitol Police and the Washington, D.C. Police, who, by the way, is the best police force in America by far, always has been, working with ICE and cooperating. So do that, and then we can de-escalate. So far, he's not met any of those demands. What if he meets them? What if he doesn't?
Well, I mean, that's the question here moving forward. But Democrats have signaled that they okay, we'll deal with Holman. He's the adult in the room. Okay, fine. So if they will agree to those things and work with the White House on that stuff, I am certain that President Trump will work with anyone, regardless of their politics. You saw him meet with Zohran Mamdani after he won the election. He will work with anyone to achieve what's in the best interest of the United States and in its citizens, right? In the best interest of its citizens, right? Like, so again, if this is how the Democrats have to agree to those things, then fine, that's how they have to agree to them. But again, the criminal illegal aliens have to go. Plain and simple. It's really that plain and simple. And frankly, all illegal aliens have to go, right? Like, so again, if the Democrats are willing to come around and work with Tom Homan instead of Kristi Noem, then fine, right? Like, they'll work with Tom Homan instead of Kristi Noem. It doesn't matter to me, right? And then Kristi Noem can go focus on this efforts in another state. Right, like, but that's the thing. Believe me, there's 50 states. There's plenty of places for all of them to be involved, right? Like, so Holman's going to go there and handle the situation there. I'm sure Kristi Noem's off to another place to go deport more illegal aliens, right? Like, so there's a lot of illegal aliens in America, right? Like, I mean, by many estimates, we were at 30 million or more as far back as that's what Aaron Coulter was saying back in the 2016 election. Since then, a lot more came in. So again, we've deported 3 million through. I think that's the official estimates in the first year of Trump's return. 2.5 million of those are self-deportations, and then 500,000 are removals by ICE and other folks in our Homeland Security department. So that number needs to go up by 10 times this year, right? Like, so we need to see 15 million removals in 2026, right? Like, and then once we get to 30 million or so removals, then we can talk about, what do we do from there, right? But the point is that we're on, so I don't care how it gets done, as long as President Trump gets it done. And President Trump is getting it done. That's the best part about this is President Trump can't, unlike any other politicians that we've seen come before, President Trump campaigned on this stuff. He promised all these things to the American people that are very popular, and now he's doing it. So whether it's immigration, whether it's the economy, whether it's bigger than that, so I think it's there's much hullabaloo about nothing. Look, at the end of the day, though, on the specifics of these various incidents in Minnesota, again, we hate to see any American hurt or specifically killed. That's terrible. But the specifics of these incidents will be investigated, and the chips will fall where they may as those investigations play out. But again, the big picture here is deport the illegal aliens, plain and simple. Restore the rule of law in America. That's it, and that's what President Trump's doing.
For many of us, though, it seems like a cave, but we'll see what happens. I'll grant you that. Let's see what happens.
I trust the president. Always.
I trust them also, but
yeah.
What I said a little bit earlier is criticizing a particular event or move does not mean you don't support the president. That's kind of what our base falls into. You criticize something and then you've abandoned Trump. No, it's like
I see it all the time. Yeah.
It's like the football analogy, right? If you're a Broncos fan, you love Sean Payton, turn the franchise around, no question. Greatest coach in their history, but he should have went for the field goal in the second quarter.
Hey, I'm a Patriots. I'm excited that we're in the Super Bowl again, right? Like, and we have a similar situation going on there with Mike Vrabel, right? Like, he's a great coach. So, incredible what he's done with the Patriots over the course of this year.
Yeah, well, I'm a Titans fan, and a good thing Amy fired him so we can get a number of continual first-round draft picks. Unbelievable. Let's not go there. Let's get to some phone calls. Oh, we suck. John in Southwest Virginia, you're live with John and Matt. Go ahead, John. Line one.
Hey, I appreciate you taking my call. Appreciate your work, John, and appreciate yours, Matt. Followed Breitbart for years. Love it. My comment is I'm staying with, I'm with Trump. I'll stay with Trump, but I'm not happy with everything that he's doing. Just like he said at the end of the dialogue there. I think he needs to be seen doing more work on the home front and less on the international scene. I've said it before when we've talked that I think he's politicking for the Nobel Prize, and I think he's doing it too hard for the Peace Prize. I think he needs to let Rubio, and I think he needs to let the Secretary of War do their thing, and focus more on what's happening here in the States. Kristi Noem is doing great. And Pam Bondi's not. Part of the thing, though, I think in part that's hindering Pam, and I'm not a big supporter right now because she hasn't gotten people arrested, is that there's not enough attorneys in there. Well, the Democrats have already said they're gonna remember which firms help the administration and which ones don't when they come back into power. And if the president can't be seen supporting those people covering their backs, what are they going to do? I mean, they see him internationally sending a carrier battle group over towards Iran. Why? Because some of their people were killed. He can't be seen being more concerned about the people over there than he is for the people here.
Matt?
He needs to focus on the economics. He needs to be focused on the civil discord that's happening here in the country. He needs to be seen focusing on America and not the Nobel Prize, which I think is what he's doing.
Matt, you want to comment on that, Matthew Boyle?
Yeah, look, I think there's a lot of good points there in that call. I would also add that when he does the President of the United States, one of the things that they are is they're the head of state, and they represent the United States to the rest of the world. And the United States is the world's greatest superpower. So there are, roles for the president to do things worldwide. That's part of the job. But the fact is that when he does it, he needs to make it clear that the reason why he's doing it has a major impact on the United States. For instance, the trade deals that he's negotiated around the world and the tariffs that he had implemented, throughout the year. And he just, the latest on the tariffs front is he just upped the tariffs on South Korea because they haven't followed through on their end of the trade deal and so on and so forth. All of that stuff is designed to help the American worker and help the U.S. position economically on the world stage and get us, we've been ripped off by the rest of the world for so long, and Trump is trying to, level the playing field and make it so that we're not getting ripped off anymore. So I think that all of that stuff are points well taken, but I do think that the president can communicate better in that regard. And yeah, he's got to focus here domestically. For instance, I know tomorrow the president is scheduled, as well as the Treasury Secretary, to do a big event in downtown Washington, D.C., focused on the Trump accounts that they're doing, right? Like, all the things that were in that big, beautiful bill that they passed earlier last year are having an impact on the economy. And I think that the president can help move that along and cheerlead along on that front. I think the president kind of needs to be like the mayor of America, right? Like, he needs to go cut ribbon cuttings for, new facilities that are opening. This is happening around the country. Because of Trump's policies already, we're seeing there are new facilities opening. There are places that are expanding. There's new projects. There's exciting things that are going on around the country. Trump should be at all of them, right? Like, so he should be going around the country, like I said, like kind of like the mayor of America, and go from ribbon cutting to ribbon cutting and showcase and highlight and bring energy to the economic stuff around the country, especially ahead of the midterm elections. And if we could see the predictions, there's a lot of people that say in Bessent we trust, right? Like, they're looking to Scott Bessent, who's been predicting a first half economic boom this year, the first and second quarter of 2026. Assuming that stuff is right, and there's a lot of reason to believe that he is right about this. Bessent's a very smart guy. And this is all because of the Trump policies of the of the big beautiful bill and everything. Assuming that's and beyond that as well, but assuming that's right, that's going to really help the Republicans ahead of the midterm election. So I get the frustration that you hear from the caller there, but I think again, you're going to see this naturally happen over the course of this year.
Matthew, I think the biggest concern that we've got right now is the base becoming dispirited. And the callers that I get every day, it's a common theme. Nobody's been arrested. Pam Bondi doesn't do anything. What's Kash Patel doing? The accountability factor has not materialized. And then there's a concern here in Minneapolis, and of course it's got to play out, that basically the administration is going to cave to the mobs, because you looked at a lot of the Republicans that were in Trump's ear that were, getting weak-kneed and peeing down their leg and all the stuff that the Republicans do that you and I understand better than anybody. So the concern is you don't get the base out. I mean, they didn't come out in Virginia. They didn't come out in New Jersey. They didn't come out. I mean, that's fact. Fact is fact. We couldn't get them out. I did a bus tour. I couldn't get them out. Nobody cared. They were pissed. And so the concern is, how do you turn that around with still no arrest, still no accountability, and now potentially the mobs claiming victory? How do you turn that around and get our base motivated to get out, Matthew, the way they did in 2024?
Well, I would say keep the faith here. Again, in President Trump and his team, I think they know a lot more about what's happening than they say. I have a big story that we put up last night, which is a big in-depth look at the first year of the CIA under Director John Ratcliffe and several of the things that he's done there. And I think that people have been very excited with what he's done. He's been a very behind-the-scenes player in the Trump administration. And one of the things he kind of says because I talked to him for a little bit for this story, because I asked him about are some of these people, because obviously many of them people that would look at are particularly like former CIA Director John Brennan, but others as well. Is there going to be accountability for them? And he said, I wouldn't speculate, but I'm kind of hoping that there may be. I'm not saying don't rule it out yet. Like, don't think that this is just because you haven't seen it yet. These things take time, right? Like, if they're going to do indictments or arrests or charges or, cases against folks, sometimes they take years, right? Like, sometimes they take a long time, months, years to build. Pam Bondi was confirmed, like a few months into the administration, couple months in. I'd have to check the exact date. I think it was like February, or it might have even been March of last year. So she hasn't even been in the job for a full year yet. So I would say give it some time, keep the faith. President Trump knows what he's doing, and the people around him know what they're doing. I don't think that they are not trying to do the right thing here, right? Like, I think that all of these folks, whether it's Bondi, whether it's Kash Patel, whether it's Ratcliffe, whether it's Noem, whether it's, Rubio, all of them are working hard across the administration. We're doing our best to tell those stories, but I wouldn't get deflated out there. I think focus on what lay ahead and keep your eyes on the prize here.
Well, I hope you're right, Matthew. I hope you're right, and I've had your position for a year and a month. But my callers are running like 49, like 99 to 1. I mean, that's really the problem is.
Yeah, no, believe me, I get it. I do radio too. Like
I know when you're in your position with Breitbart in the comments, because I get the calls, you get the comments. It's kind of the same thing, and it's 99 to 1, and the base is getting unmotivated. Let's be soft, okay? Matthew, I want to thank you for being with us today. Thanks, buddy.
Yep.
And people want to follow you, Matt. Where do they go?
Just go to Breitbart.com. Also, I'm on X, Twitter at MBoyle1, and on True Social at Real Matt Boyle.
All right, Breitbart.com, and you can get your comments there. Matthew and I go back a very long time. He's been a stalwart forever. Great writer, great interviewer, and of course, Breitbart. You always go there for what I call truth and clarity. Matthew, thank you for being with us today.